Nobody warned you about what wealth actually does. We spend our lives chasing the number, the status, the freedom, only to find that the destination is far lonelier than the journey. It is a quiet transformation, a slow erosion of the life you once knew, replaced by a world where the air is thinner and the silence is deafening. Wealth changes a person the moment it arrives. It's not just the lifestyle, it's the fundamental shift in how you perceive the world and how the world perceives you. The things that once felt solid and dependable begin to drift away, leaving you in a space where the old rules of engagement no longer apply. There are 8 things to consider that might change how badly you want wealth. Before you reach the summit, you must understand the landscape. The view from the top is breathtaking, but the climb alters your perspective in ways you cannot anticipate until you are standing there, looking down at the world you left behind. Thing 1. Wealth isolates you from honest feedback. When you become the person who signs the checks, the truth starts to filter itself before it reaches your ears. People stop telling you when your ideas are bad because the cost of disagreement has become too high. You live in a hall of mirrors. Once you have the power to fire dissenters, fewer people will dare to disagree with you. You find yourself surrounded by yes men who prioritize their own security over your success. The honest friction that once sharpened your mind is replaced by a smooth, dangerous path of constant, unearned validation. This lack of boundaries introduces thing 2. Trust becomes your most expensive commodity. Every new relationship you form is colored by the weight of your assets. You begin to look at every handshake and every smile with a hidden suspicion, wondering if the person across from you sees a friend or an opportunity. Every new relationship carries the silent, nagging question of ulterior motives. It's a tax on human connection that the wealthy pay every day. You find yourself retreating into a smaller and smaller circle of those who knew you before the money, because they are the only ones you can truly trust. The question remains, do they want the person or just what the person possesses? It's a hollow feeling to realize that your presence is valued primarily for the access it provides. This realization can turn even the most social individual into a recluse, protecting the only thing they have left, their privacy. Thing 3. Wealth removes natural stopping points. In most lives, scarcity provides a necessary structure. You stop buying because you run out of money. You stop working because you need to rest. But when the resources are infinite, the limits vanish, and without limits, it is very easy to lose your way. Poverty forces limits, but wealth removes them entirely. Without the natural boundaries of cost and consequence, you are forced to rely solely on your own internal discipline. Many find that their internal compass is not as strong as they believed, leading to a life of excess that provides no actual satisfaction. Finally, thing 4. Money is a microphone that amplifies who you are. If you are generous, you become a philanthropist. If you are insecure, you become a tyrant. It doesn't change your character. It merely gives your flaws a louder voice and a larger stage to perform upon. Wealth reveals the man. It is a common misconception that wealth changes your core values. In reality, it simply provides the volume. Those smudged, frantic numbers eventually settle into a cold, orderly ledger. Money isn't a personality transplant. It is a high-powered amplifier that takes your existing traits, whether generous or greedy, and broadcasts them to the entire world with undeniable clarity. Then there is the family dynamic. Imagine a chessboard where every single piece has been replaced by a king. Suddenly, the hierarchy that governed your childhood and your holidays is gone. Wealth changes how your family sees you, transforming you from a brother or a son into a benefactor, a resource, or even a rival in their eyes. You might try to maintain the old ways, but the weight of your success creates a gravity that pulls on everyone around you. Not everyone forgives the rewrite of family history gracefully. When one king is quietly toppled, it isn't just a game piece falling, it's a lifetime of shared understanding collapsing under the pressure of new, unspoken expectations. Consider the weight of choice. In the darkness of uncertainty, money acts like a bright lantern, but light doesn't just show the way, it attracts. Moths circle from every direction, drawn to the glow. You will find that money makes decisions heavier, not lighter, because every choice is now scrutinized by those looking for a way into your light. When a moth lands directly on the hot glass, it doesn't care about the heat, it only cares about the proximity to the power. This is the reality of high-stakes wealth. More zeros at the end of your bank balance mean more consequence for every mistake. The margin for error shrinks as the impact of your failures grows exponentially larger. Your home should be a sanctuary, but wealth turns it into a target. An ornate mansion door might stand open, but it often leads to rooms that remain unfurnished and cold. You will soon realize that wealth attracts a specific type of person, those optimized to extract value rather than connect with the human being standing behind the fortune. You end up surrounding yourself with barriers. Dust sheets cover the furniture in rooms you never use, a metaphor for the parts of yourself you hide away. Filtering out the extractors becomes a permanent, full-time job. You become a gatekeeper of your own life, constantly questioning if a hand is extended to help or to take. Perhaps the hardest truth is that money doesn't fix what wasn't about money. A hand might place a simple compass on a pile of gold coins, but the gold doesn't change north. If you were lost before you were rich, you are simply lost now with better luggage. The internal map remains the same regardless of your net worth. The needle spins, searching for a direction that no amount of currency can provide. A missing sense of purpose remains missing even with 10 million in the bank. Wealth can buy you the time to find your way, but it cannot be the destination itself. Without a true north, you are just drifting in an expensive sea. Look closely at the reflection. A cracked mirror might show a much younger version of the face you see today, reminding you of who you were before the numbers climbed. I advise you to go into this world with your eyes wide open. Recognize that the reflection will change, but the person behind it shouldn't have to. If you enter this life with eyes open, money remains what it was always meant to be, a tool. Like a hammer or a pen, its value is determined by the hand that holds it. When the mirror finally shatters and the fragments scatter on the floor, the person who remains standing is the only thing that truly matters. But if you go in blind, money becomes a mirror that only reflects your insecurities and your ego. You will find yourself choosing between a plain wooden chair and an ornate golden throne. One offers comfort and a sense of self, the other offers a pedestal that keeps you perpetually out of reach from the world you once knew. In the end, the choice of where to sit defines your legacy. Choosing the wooden chair leaves the golden throne empty, a silent testament to values kept over material gain. True success isn't about how much you can accumulate, but how much of yourself you can keep intact while the world tries to buy your soul. As dawn breaks over the quiet garden behind the mansion, the shadows of the night begin to retreat. The light brings a new perspective, a clarity that only comes after the storm of ambition has passed. The cautionary tale ends here, not with a warning of ruin, but with an invitation to wisdom. From a distance, the mansion stands tall, a monument to a life's work. Among the many dark windows, one small light burns warmly, suggesting a quiet, lonely resolution. Wealth is a journey many desire, but few understand the price of the ticket until the ride is over. Choose your path wisely.